Welcome to Digestion and Physiology Series 2, Part 2, Digestion of Structural Carbohydrates. In the previous clip, we discussed structural carbohydrates in the horse diet being the fibrous component of the plant, specifically cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin. Now, let's look at how these structural carbohydrates are digested. Structural carbohydrates are digested primarily through microbial fermentation in the hindgut, a process where microbes digest and break down the much more resilient structural carbohydrates into products that a horse can use. One of these products is volatile fatty acids, or VFAs. VFAs are short-chain fats with a very high energy density. In fact, these volatile fatty acids are the main source of energy for a horse. Microbes produce around 70% of the horse's energy needs under most circumstances when receiving a high fibre diet through the production of VFAs. The volatile fatty acids produced in the hindgut region of the horse pass through the wall of the hindgut into the body, travel via the blood to the liver, where they are converted into a glucose source for use as energy, or a fat for storage. Insulin is a hormone produced in the pancreas, which is secreted to help regulate blood glucose levels by moving the excess glucose from the blood into the muscle and storing it as glycogen, which is used in the fight or flight response. Volatile fatty acids produce no insulin response, meaning the body does not have to produce more insulin to safely control the blood sugar level and risk developing metabolic diseases like insulin resistance. This is because it travels through the blood as fat, not sugar. This is referred to as being a cool energy. As we will talk about in the next YouTube clip with non-structural carbohydrates, you will note that this insulin response can cause a major health issue. So, by generating most of a horse's energy requirements through the production of VFAs, this improves the horse's overall health. It is important to know that energy is something that is never lost. It is either used or it is stored. So if you produce energy, excess to a horse's need, it's going to store that within the body as fatty tissue. It is also important to point out here that energy is not actually a nutrient, even though it is often referred to as one. It is the fuel contained within nutrients, particularly carbohydrates and fats. Let's explore the hindgut fermentation process further, as it is vital to understand, due to it being the main energy-producing process for horses. The hindgut is made up of the cecum and the ascending colon. Within these two parts of the digestive tract, you have billions of microscopic organisms, bacteria, protozoa, fungi, and yeasts, whose sole purpose is to break down these structural carbohydrates to produce energy and vitamins for the horse. Hindgut fermentation is done through the enzymes produced by these microbes. This is chemical digestion. The enzymes break down much of the cellulose and hemicellulose, but they cannot digest the lignin. This process, as mentioned earlier, produces volatile fatty acids, which provide about 70% of the horse's energy needs under most circumstances. Please note, a more active horse will require more energy. The microbes produce many different types of fatty acids, but there are three primary ones: acetate, butyrate, and propionate. Acetate and butyrate are converted within the liver into fats, while propionate is a precursor or starting ingredient for glucose production. There are very precise conditions within the hindgut to allow microbial fermentation to occur, such as a pH of between 6 and 6.7, and it must be an anaerobic environment, or in other words, there is no oxygen present. The microbes in the hindgut secrete enzymes which break down the feeds into smaller components that the microbes themselves can use, either to grow and reproduce, or to produce the volatile fatty acids which are the main energy source for horses. These same microbes produce a large quantity of K and B vitamins. In fact, under most circumstances, the microbes provide enough of these vitamins for the horse's daily requirements. The problem with hindgut fermentation, though, is that anything that is not absorbed from the large intestine into the body is completely lost. Once these components, like microbes, minerals, and vitamins, leave the hindgut area of the cecum and colon, because they were not absorbed, they will be lost in the feces, therefore not available to be utilized by the horse. Unfortunately, most of the protein found in the microbes can never be utilized as they are not digested and absorbed by the horse. Instead, they too are lost in the feces. Today, our key take-home points from this YouTube clip are: structural carbohydrates are digested primarily through microbial fermentation in the hindgut. Microbial fermentation produces volatile fatty acids, VFAs, which are the main source of energy for the horse. Energy produced from VFAs is considered cool energy. There are 3 primary VFAs: acetate, butyrate, converted into fats, and propionate, a precursor to glucose production. Thank you for watching Equine Digestion and Physiology, Series 2, Part 2. If you like what you saw, please give us the thumbs up and share it with your friends. Connect to our website, our EqNC Facebook page and Instagram so as not to miss the next chapter in this series.